as quickly as possible, although we have a decent bit to cover. We are also online, live, so any of your chatter can be heard, so just know that. Anyway, it's always fun. Sometimes we get to pick up things we're like, I never knew they thought that. Anyway, we are so glad to have you here. We are so glad to have those joining us online for this meeting. We are taking 106 people from our church up to North Carolina, and I am so excited, and I'm so thankful that y'all are going. You're letting your kids go. It's going to be an amazing week, both for us and I'm sure for you. Through a little agenda here for this meeting, and then at the end, we're going to answer some questions, and then at the very end, you are going to be allowed to go and get a shirt, but we're going to have people back there marking your name off, making sure everybody gets the right shirt that they put down. And no, you may not change sizes today. Whatever you put in that form is what you get. For some of you, it's what I guess for you, because you didn't fill out the form. So, yeah, that's only very few people who I won't call out. All right, so we are going to be going through this set of paperwork here. So if you have that or you don't have that, we have some on the back table, some over here. But we're going to kick this off with prayer, and then we will jump in. Father God, I thank you for today, and I thank you for all of these awesome youth and parents, for those going with us and those who are supporting us going. God, I pray that you just bless this trip. I pray, God, that you work in our lives. You give us strength and energy to have awesome fun and to grow closer to you. In your name, Lord Jesus, I pray. Amen. Okay, so Snowbird. What is Snowbird all about? SWO is a high recreation gospel-centered camp. I love their phrase. You go to the next slide. What they're all about is this: Snowbird Wilderness Outfitters exists to proclaim the gospel of Jesus Christ through the exposition of Scripture and personal relationships in order to equip the church to impact this generation. I have never been. I worked at summer camps. I've been to many. SWO is so awesome. They're so intentional. And to me, they're so laser focused. That's one of the reasons why I love going, and I know your kids are going to love it. I just want to let you know that's kind of what they're about. All right, chaperones and staffing. We have an amazing group of chaperones going. And right here are all of our chaperones. You got me, Corey, John, and Stephen. Our men, our women are Dana, Andrea, Janine, Christina, and Caroline, no particular order. Let's go ahead and just clap for them. Thank you so much. Some of those are new, and some of those have been with me every trip, Andrea. But I'm so excited. These awesome people are donating a week of their lives to come and be with their kids, but also to be with your kids. Youth, I just want you to go ahead. I'm just going to go ahead and remind you now, and I will many times, that these people are taking vacation time to come and be with you, and they are to be listened to, respected, and followed. Okay? Sound good? Good. I'll repeat that a lot over the trip. All right. But this year we have something a little bit different going on. Our chaperones decided that they just didn't do enough. We're going to give them more. What we're going to be doing this year that's a little bit different is we are going to be having a chaperone check-in time. Each chaperone will have a group of kids that will be their group of kids that they will check in with 4 times a day. Now, I'll explain this in a minute fully when we go through the schedule. But right up here are 6th grade girls, Christina Lake. And that's 6th grade like you just came out of 6th grade, by the way. So I know you're going into 7th grade and all that jazz is confusing. But our girls who just graduated from 6th grade, Christina Lake is yours. 7th grade is going to be Carolina Dembski. 8th grade is going to be Janine. 9th grade is going to be Dana Reeves, and 10th through 12th is going to be Andrea, okay? On the guys' side, did I even put the guys in? Actually, I don't think I did I?
Oh, sorry, yes.
I did? Okay, sometimes I leave things out. All right, our guys, Stephen is going to be for the 6th grade guys, 7th grade guys are going to be Corey, 8th grade guys are going to be John, and 9th through 12th are going to be me. And how this is going to work is at the beginning of each meal, breakfast, lunch, and dinner, you will check in with your leader whenever you come to that meal. So they will literally have a sheet that has your picture on it, and it has your name, and then we'll check in. Oh, you're at breakfast. Boom, boom. Everybody's at breakfast. If someone doesn't show up at breakfast, we have an awesome group text. It's just going to go out and say, hey, we're missing little Billy. And we'll be like, oh, okay, we'll make sure little Billy's not still asleep in his bed. So we go and find little Billy, and we're like, my God, Billy! All right, that's going to happen at every meal. Hopefully not asleep in bed. But every meal, we're going to do that check-in. And the reason is because we've never taken 106 people. And we want to make sure that we don't let anybody decide to sleep most of the day. We want you to be awake and with us. So that's going to be happening. And then at night, before you go to bed, you will be checking in with your leader, and you will get checked in at that point. It'll be super fun and exciting because you'll be tired and it'll be time to go to bed. All right? So that's a new role that they're going to be doing. We'll be going over that again when we get there as well. And that is why I requested your lovely picture, so that we can make sure that every leader will know exactly what you look like. I've also sent those pictures on to our counselors that they provide as well. So they will know what you look like. It's going to be super great. That sounds intimidating. I don't mean it to be. It's nice to know everybody, okay? All right. Now, the second part of chaperone staffing. The staffing, we will have chaperones assigned to our group, okay? Each one of our small groups, which will be divided up by girls and guys and by your grades. Each small group will have a certain number of counselors with them that will lead that small group. And Snowbird is amazing. They have a 1-to-4 counselor to camper ratio. So for us, I don't do math anymore, but that's a lot of counselors that get to work with us. And we're super excited to have them. So they will be working with us in the evenings, and they'll be around running stuff throughout the day. Okay? All right. Next thing, we're going to cover the packing list, which right here is the packing list. We're going to go all the way through it. Some of you are already working on it and asking me questions, and that's great. So if you want to go ahead and look at that packing list, we're going to run down this as quick as possible. All right, for bedding, you'll need bedding and pillows for a twin bed or a sleeping bag. The sleeping situation is thus. We have a cabin. It's gloriously rustic. You will have bunks in that cabin, and you will make your bed, and you will take care of that. You can either go the sheets and cover route, or you go the sleeping bag route. Either route is fine. We will have somebody, but I'm just going to warn you now, make sure to pack sleeping stuff like sheets, pillows, blankets. Okay? I only bring a few extras. I do not have enough for a lot of people. All right? So make sure to pack that. If you are like, my child is going to step up and pack it all themselves, awesome, let them do it. Then when they're asleep, go check it. Okay? So, so toiletries, please bring deodorant. And everything else to keep you clean. Deodorant is a must. Okay? Because we don't want to smell your musk. That's the main thing. All right? Now, with your toiletries, it is often very important for you to have your own little toiletries bag. Because our shower situation, we have showers that we are assigned to. There are bathhouses. There's none in the actual cabin we're in. No restroom in there. It's not a far walk. We'll have a wonderful shower place we go. So you need to have a little caddy, a grocery bag, something, because you don't want to be doing this number going to the shower, okay? Make sure to bring a little caddy for your toiletries. A towel. You need a towel for showers and a towel for... I swam a lot today in the sun. Reading is tough. Forgive me. All right. You'll need one for a shower, and you'll need one for water wrecks. 2 should be enough. We'll have this whole process of after you use it, you hang it up, and things of that nature. But you do need 2. Your one you want to get dry after going in the wreck, or in the creek or the river, is not the same one you want to do after you get out of the nice warm shower. Okay? So at least 2, and we'll be able to hang them up to dry each day. You'll want to bring a Bible, notebook, and pen. I will be providing a pen and a small little notebook. So everyone will get one. On Monday, I'll have 2 things for you when you get on the bus. One will be 3 things. Pen and a notebook will be 2 of the 3, and the third one is going to be a portable little throw-up bag. just in case. All right? Sometimes we learn that people riding a bus in the mountains don't like it. So, but everyone will get one. I have ample. It'll be great. So if you know you don't like buses in the mountains, Dramamine, it's a good thing to pack. All right. So let's keep going. If you don't have a Bible, like a handheld Bible, let me know. We have probably about 30 or 40 Bibles here. If you want one, we definitely want you to bring one. Obviously, you're not bringing any technology with you, so you will need a hardback Bible or physical Bible to bring to Carolina. Some of you may not be like, I don't bring it, but if you need one, I have plenty. Please let me know, okay? All right. Let's keep going. An alarm clock. Or you can use your watch. I have my SWO watch on today. While you're there, we're going to get this down the page, but since you don't have your phones, you won't be bringing your phones. Your phones won't come with you. They'll stay here. Okay, good. We covered that. So you will need a way to wake up. And that way can either be a $3 alarm that you can buy, battery powered. They're really cool. They make a little ding sound. You can use that, or you can use your new watch that is $10 to $12 that you bought from Walmart. I will say practice the watch alarm before you come, because usually Monday morning or Tuesday morning we have this wonderful 3 a.m. wake up call from someone's watch who does not wake up, and everyone else is like, turn off your watch. Okay, so that's helpful. All right. And that's if you want to get up earlier than chaperones. There will be kind of a mandatory get out of bed, you lazy head kind of moments. But if you want to get up and you want to command your day, you need to have a way to wake yourself up. All right, clothes for getting dirty. We will have a lot of fun, but if you have that nice clothes, you're like, oh, I don't like mud on this thing, don't bring it. Okay? Because there's more than likely there's going to be a chance that we're going to get dirty on this trip. So if it's something that you're like, I really can't wear this and get dirty, leave it. Make sure to bring stuff you can't get dirty in. Also, modest clothes, make sure we're covering the 3 B's. This is our rule for you. Breast, butt, and belly. We don't want to see it. Just cover it up. Girls, guys, doesn't matter. We don't want to see it. All right? Someone's texting me. I'm sorry. Let me turn my phone off. It's annoying. You probably didn't hear it, but all right. There we go. All right. So, make sure to cover those up. Closed-toed shoes. They're not required for all activities, but you will need at least one pair of closed-toed shoes. For our rafting and for doing some of the high rope treks, it is recommended to have, and sometimes required, to have closed-toed shoes. Okay? So, that means you don't see your toes. For those of you who are like, what does that mean? That's what that means, okay? So you will need that. I recommend for our rafting day, that you need just an old pair of tennis shoes works. You don't need to go buy some nice Vibrams that are you can see your toes outside, but they're covered. We don't need that, right? If you do that, cool, rock it. But not required. Old pair of tennis shoes is fine. You will need shoes with backs on them. Like these wonderful Chacos, I would not be able to take them on several things because they do have to have some backs on your shoes too. Okay? So if you have your cool shoes that are like this, that are just gorgeous, cute, whatever, bring them. That's awesome. But you do need to bring something with closed toes, something with a back. Okay? All right. And I'm going to go and put it out there. Crocs are really not the best. If you're like, it has a back. I flip it down and I'm rocking the back. I mean, Crocs are cool. Crocs are cool. I'm not messing with Crocs. I'm just saying you might need something a little bit stronger than Crocs. Okay? All right. So rafting and water wrecks require quick, dry clothes. You want to wear something that's just not going to hang wet all day on you whenever we go down the river. You don't necessarily have to have your swim shirts for it or anything along those lines. And that the river day, you do have to have the shoes with backs. So you have to have them on that day. Portable water bottles. You'll need to bring something. Something like this is fine. You will want to stay hydrated all week. And we need you to have your own water bottle. Okay? Now, a little SWO hack, as I like to call them. Our shower time, you're like, what does a water bottle have to do with shower time? Everything. The showers work on like a pull chain. And as long as you're pulling it down, the water comes out. This is so whenever, that wonderful youth who's absent-minded gets out of the shower and doesn't even think about the fact they left it on and doesn't run all night. So you have to pull it down. And if you're not used to only using one hand to shower yourself, which I don't know if any of you probably practice that, if you get a little clip like this, and you bring your water bottle to the shower, you can clip it to the chain, it holds it down, you shower, and then you have water to drink later. But that's a super helpful little thing, just a little carabiner will do. But you do need to bring your own water bottle. That is not a requirement, it just makes life better. All right, moving on down. You'll need a water-resistant wristwatch, cheap is fine. The reason we do this is because life without phones is tough. No one understands how to tell time or the passage of time without a phone. It's amazing. Our first year we went several times. I was like, hey, you got about 5 minutes. Come on. I would leave. And an hour would go by. And I'd be like, hey, where are you? Has it been 5 minutes? Yes. So it's super helpful, especially, since a lot of us are not used to going without a phone or something that helps you tell time. And you will need to know what time, we'll have times where it's we have 30 minutes, guys, we're gathering up. You need to be able to know that because your internal clock probably is not very good. All right? And again, Walmart, this one I bought off Amazon, super cheap. All right. And we'll talk about medications in just a minute. Sunscreen, definitely pack sunscreen. Trash bag for wet clothes at the end of the trip, and during the trip, by the way. So as we're going through the week, you need to at least give your kid a couple of trash bags. All right? Because the middle of the floor wet sopping, leaving, starting on Tuesday, and then it crawls away by Thursday is not great. So make sure you have a couple trash bags in your bag. It helps us all out. Believe me, there's some rooms you'll walk in and you can physically feel the plume of smell. Okay? So trash bags, super helpful. Please pack those in for all of our sakes. All right. Moving on, I'm going to talk about eating and all that in just a second, so we'll skip past that. Optional shower shoes. Some of you are like, that ain't optional. It's optional. You don't have to bring it. But I recommend shower shoes, something $5, whatever, at Kroger's where I got mine. Actually, they're my second favorite pair of sandals. So something like that is really good. Paintball gun, if you have a paintball gun, they have a paintball course there that is part of the rec. You can bring your own. They will turn it down whenever you get up there. So if you know what I'm talking about, you know. But you can bring your own paintball gun. Money for extra paintballs, skeet shooting, okoe rafting, stuff like that. Money for the snack shack, things of that nature. You can, as a parent, if you're like, I don't want to send my kid with like $20 cash or whatever, you can actually, through SWO's website, you can actually, okay, here, I thought you said no. You can pay for a gift card that they will get upon arrival, that they can use while they're there. Now, if you want them to do their own money, cool, that's fine, perfectly fine. But you can call ahead. I will make sure to send something out to you through email that will show you how to do that process. But there is a way to do that. That card can be used for, like it said in here, trips. We're going to talk about Rex in a second, but it can be used for trips that cost extra, or if you want to play more paintball and buy more paintballs, or if you want to buy like 87 Hot Pockets. It can be used for that as well. We're going to talk about that in a minute. But that money can be sent that way. They also take cash and they also take normal card. So if your kid already has that, that's cool too. Okay? Just talk about money for the snack shack. Then the snack shack is basically a place where you can buy apparel and junk food. Okay? They have a myriad of options, all that remind most of us of our college days. It's just wonderfully glorious, not good for you food. But they have it there. It's also where you buy your stickers, things of that nature. So definitely want to send probably a little bit of money extra for that stuff. You can send your kid with absolutely zero extra money, and they will be fine. They will eat fine. They will survive. But if they want to buy anything extra, you just need to send extra money. Yes?
They can also go on the website and see what merchandise is available.
Yes, you can. You can go on the website beforehand and see what merchandise is available. You can also order it from the website. If you don't want your kid to bring that back later, you can say, hey, tell me which one you want. I'll go ahead and order it, and they'll ship it to me. So you can see what is available that way. Thank you. Also, you want to bring a flashlight. The bath, like I said before, there's no bathrooms and no showers in the cabins. So if you have to go potty in the middle of the night, you have the closest little bathhouse you go to. You just need to get your flashlight and go. Now, are there lights out there? Yes. It's not pitch black on your way to the bathhouse. But it's nice to have your own little light to make it a little more comfortable. Okay? So, moving on. Hammock. If you have a hammock, this is a wonderful trip for a hammock. They have trees all over the place. You will see hammocks all over the place. Make sure spring if you don't. That's okay. All right, do not bring. All right, cell phone. We're not bringing or any device like. And it's gonna, and we laugh and we giggle about it. And that on day one they're shaking. On day two they look up and they see there's other people around. But the truth is that it is very much this time of getting to get a break from social media, a break from having to constantly be on or to be looking a certain way and posting and commenting. It's going to be free along those lines. For some of you parents, I know this is a little bit of a struggle because your kid won't have a cell phone then. In this packet, on the very back, is a list of every chaperone and their phone number, as well as, and I didn't actually ask one of my new chaperones, I put your phone number on there, and the SWO office, okay? So, if for some reason you need to get in touch with us or your child on this trip, you are more than welcome to call us, okay? And some days, like there'll be a day we're on the river or something like that. If for some reason you're not getting us, the SWO office will pick up. And if we're going down the river, they'll let you know on that day and do whatever we need to do to get in touch. Okay? Also, you may want to add some of these phone numbers in your phone. So if we decide to call you, almost 100% of the time, if you're going to get a call from camp, it's going to come from me. And your kid is okay. That's what I'm going to say when I first answer. And then we'll talk about what medical needs are being done. All right? We'll talk about that more in just a minute. Or your kid did something very wrong and I'm calling you because, Craig with the car, it's time to go. Okay. Anyway, please have at least my phone number saved so that when I call that you don't go, oh, spam. Please answer, okay? All right, some of you parents out there are looking at me like, I'm getting more nervous. I wish you would stop talking. Okay, other things not to bring. So no cell phones, don't bring them. Cell phones, don't bring them, no? Okay, cool. To that one kid who's going to sneak it in, I'll find you. All right. Or I won't if you're really good with it, but don't do that. Don't be that kid. All right. So iPods, which just got discontinued. I should update my list. iPods, MP3 players, no. Yeah, leave your earbuds and all that at home because there's nothing to connect them to. All right? Portable games, Switch, whatever you may have, don't bring it in. Alcohol, leave it at home, kids. All right? Tobacco, again, leave it at home. All right, swimwear. Now, on the swimwear, the two-piece swimwear works, I need to update this, but it works like this. Basically, if it's two-piece, you need a dark shirt, you'll be fine. Right? If it's a one-piece, you probably want to bring a shirt anyway. It'll be fine. Guys, you need to be wearing a shirt whenever we're going down water things. That's our rules. They're fun. Yay. Hate me later. Okay, moving on. We all wore shirts today. It was fantastic. I haven't been outside without a shirt on in probably 10 years. Other reasons, though. All right. So, quick reminder. SWO is not responsible for loss, left, or stolen items. Unless the individual pays postage, SWO will not mail items back. SWO recommends looking at the local weather before you pack for the trip. The weather at SWO is inconsistent year-round. There will be rain. Let's go ahead and talk about this. It will rain at least once during this week. It always does. Never fails. All right? 2019, we got so much rain that the river shut down, and we were the only ones who got to go because we went on Tuesday. All right, you need to make sure to bring some sort of rain gear, okay, or umbrella, something along the lines. Now, some of your kids might be like, "I love rain. It's great. I want to play." That's cool. It gets real cold after you get soaking wet, okay, and you only have so many clothes, so it's probably best pack a rain jacket. A little thing, cute galoshes, whatever. Something that's going to help you with rain, because we will at least have a little bit of rain. The other thing is that it's going to be a lot colder than here. We will have nights that make it down to the 50s while we're up there, and they will be like, "This is great, this is awesome." We're going to be like, "Oh my goodness," right? So make sure to pack a few warm things, okay? All right, any other questions about our packing list? Yes, ma'am. There's not a limit to items, but I will say this: if you have, you have that 3-piece luggage set, pick one of them and fill it up. Okay, so you got that. Most of you, a lot of you, are going to bring that big one. Some of you are going to show up with like this much, and I'm going to worry about you. Okay, but we are taking some charter buses, so we really it needs to be within probably one bag. One other thing that is not on here that I'm wanting to mention, and you remind me of. Of course, you have that bag. I recommend a light backpack to bring. It could even be like the little drawstring bags. Could be something. Now they will have some for sale there, but I recommend I always wear a backpack because now we have worship is off campus on their north campus. We ride a bus to go. So if you're bringing your notebook and your pen and your backpack, and your Bible, you don't want to be lugging it all free-handed. I would recommend bringing some sort of backpack. Again, small, light. You're not hiking, right? Just something you can put a few things in, take with you. That will be helpful. So really, your one bag, whatever your biggest bag is, pick that, and then a light backpack to kind of carry the rest of that stuff. Does that make sense? Great question. Thank you for asking. All right, moving on down my list. All right, schedule. Let's talk about schedule. All right. So, our schedule for lunches going up. Do I put anything on there about lunches? We're just going to talk about it.
Yeah.
Okay. So, we're going to be taking up 2 travel buses and my personal truck. John Carpenter has graciously volunteered to drive my truck and ride, not with the rest of us, but we are taking 2 travel trailers. No, we're taking 2 charter buses, and we will have a guys' charter bus and we'll have a girls' charter bus, and that's not optional. That's what we're doing. We will load up and we will take off. Our first stop on the way up, we are going to be eating our own lunch. We're going to be stopping in Jackson, Georgia, at a travel center. You maybe like, what's there? A big parking lot. And what we're going to be doing is we are going to be eating the lunch that you pack in a disposable bag. All right? Whether that's a big 1 gallon, Ziploc or a brown bag, like back in the old days. But last year we tried to do it where you brought lunch boxes and stuff, and about half of them were so nasty by the end of the week. And a few of them got left, fun things. So all disposable, all right? And whatever you want in your lunch is fine. You need to label it. We'll have a whole bunch of coolers. You'll come on Monday morning. You'll put it in the cooler and bring whatever drink. Label that. Put it in the cooler. When we get there, we're going to get out. We're going to eat our lunch, and then we're going to take off. We typically, in the past, have stopped at a Chick-fil-A and stuff like that. We are currently, for where we need to be stopping, we're too big for the places that are available. So this is how we're doing it on the way up. Okay? Now, on the way back, we'll go ahead and cover it. We're going to be stopping in Macon. On the way back, that'll be our 1 stop. And that Macon, we're going to stop at Chick-fil-A. There in Macon, I have the exit number written down, but it's the one where you have Chick-fil-A, Kroger, we're going to Kroger, but KFC, Taco Bell. There's like 4 choices right there. We're going to be parking there. We're going to go to eat at one of those 4 options, and then we're coming back home. Now, we need to make sure to let your kids know they got to save however much money it will cost them to eat lunch on the way back, whatever that amount is. Otherwise, they get to practice the biblical discipline of fasting. It'll be great. They will survive. But they'll need to save, $10, $15 for on the way back, whichever option they choose. Some of them may fast and just pocket that money. You never know. Yes, ma'am.
Can they eat a snack on the bus? Is there any eating on the bus?
I will confirm, or I will let that know if it's the case. You are welcome in that backpack that you're going to bring. You can bring snacks for SWO, and I'm glad you brought this up. You can bring snacks for SWO. Now, some rules for snacks at SWO. If you know camping, you kind of know how this works. If you have open food that remains open, you are inviting nature into your space. So, you are welcome to bring snacks for the road, things of that nature. I will confirm that it's okay or not for us to open those on our bus. Was it okay last year? I didn't get to ride. I had to drive a bus last year. It was okay? Okay. So you can bring your snacks with you on the bus. I'm assuming. We'll say yes until they tell me no. Sound good? But you can bring snacks to SWO. I encourage you to pack snacks, otherwise your kid's going to be spending, $48 on Hot Pockets. Okay? But again, those snacks, make sure that you have a way to contain them. So we don't need the 40-pound bag of Cheetos that's just open, that's your barrel style, and we're just going to leave it open because critters will find you. Okay? Does that make sense? Thank you. That's a great question. All right. They're all great questions, by the way. Okay. So let's hop on back to that food slide, please. Oh, we're on it. So saving money for on the way back from there. If we do have a couple situations where people are picking up on the road back, this is our stop. We only have one stop. Speaking of that, I wouldn't load up a whole lot on a lot of liquid the night before our travel days. Because while we do have a restroom on each of these, if you go number 2 in that thing, it ain't the best ventilated trip. You know what I'm saying? So then we got a whole trip with badness. So just think about that in your dinner choices on Sunday night. Okay? All right. Now moving into the schedule. Sorry. Some of you are like, oh my gosh. We're going to make it. All right. Into the schedule. So Monday. Oh, you can just put a schedule. So Monday, we're going to be meeting here at 7 a.m. Okay? So you meet here. We're not packing the day before because we're packing all on the buses. 7 a.m. here. Show up, ready to go. You can literally just be awake enough to get here in the bus and you can go back to sleep. We'll all win. Okay? So, but show up with your stuff. Also on Monday, everyone is required to wear our SWO shirts. They're in the back there. You'll wear them up. That will be our apparel for day 1. It's twofold. 1, because we have a cool SWO shirt to give you. And 2, so that we're able to kind of keep us all together and know who all is ours. All right? So, 7:30 a.m. we're going to be leaving for SWO, and at 10 a.m. we're going to be having an early lunch. Again, that was the best place that worked out for our size and all that, so we'll be eating early. It'll be great. Already talked about packing the lunches. 3 p.m. roughly, we're going to arrive. We're going to check in. When we first get there, it'll be kind of crazy. There'll be all the counselors will be and then they'll be coming up. You'll get out. You'll go through orientation. I'll go through orientation. Then we'll get back on the buses, and then we'll head over to unload. Okay? When we get there, it'll typically look like this. We'll have 5:30 first supper, 6:15 second supper. No, you don't get both suppers. We're not hobbits. Token reference. Yay. All right. We will get one of those 2 slots for the week. We'll be first supper or second supper. First breakfast, second breakfast. We will find out at orientation. Then what we'll do is we'll have rec sign up. Okay? How recreation works is that we will have, on campus, you have a certain set of recs that are available. You have some that you don't need to sign up for. Okay? There's stuff like the 3-man swing, stuff like that. You don't need to sign up for them. We will have specific times that we get priority, which means from 2 to 3 on Wednesday, Richmond Hill can have all they want of the 3-man swing, whatever. But you don't have to go during that time. You can go at a different time. You may have to wait. So there's some you don't have to sign up for. Then there are ones that you do have to sign up for. Like if you want to go horseback riding, or you want to go lake tubing, or river tubing, or whatever. There's a whole bunch of fun recs like that are off campus. that we will show up and you will pick, I want to go to river tubing. You'll go get in line for river tubing, and you'll wait and you'll sign up, and then you can go sign up for something else if you wish. The main gist is that you're probably going to get your number one choice as long as that's the line you're standing in for what you want. You may not get to do all 4 main recs you want to do that you have to sign up for. They may fill up. That happens. There's 600 and some odd people at this camp. Okay? But whatever your main one is, like we have a group of equestrians in our midst, and they want to go horseback riding, they will need to go get in the horseback riding space. You'll be signing up for a date and a time. And you have to remember what you signed up for. Okay? Date and time. We will also have, one of the days will be a river day, which we will all, as a group, go down the Netahela, which is a wonderfully refreshing river. But we have a lot of fun, and we will almost be the entire group going down the river that day because of our number. Okay? So, we will be going down the river. Your whole wreck that day will be the river, because we'll go down, we'll come back. It takes the whole time. Okay? Beyond that, you'll be signing up for certain wrecks. Does that make sense? Okay. And I would suggest, and I'll send out a follow-up email tomorrow with a link to all recs available. So you can go ahead and be looking ahead and seeing what you might want to do. All right? So 8:15, we'll have our first worship service in the Super Coop, which is the new big building. Then after that, we will have share groups. That will be where you're split up by girls and guys and by your grade and with your counselors from Snowbird. You'll meet up then. And then we'll come back. And on here, 12 a.m. is lights out. Now, we're making a slight tweak to that this year. Okay? Not every day are we going to do 12 a.m. Some days we're going to do 1 a.m. Parents, you may be going like, why? The why is because last year, one group actually got in at 12 a.m. Us. Okay? The whole camp usually stays out beyond that, playing and stuff like that. And so I caved to pressure to let our group be out a little bit longer so they can play with the other kids and have fun. Okay? That won't be the case for every night. Friday night, you'll be coming in at 12. Okay? Because we are leaving the next day. But we'll talk about that while we're up there, but we are backing that curfew a little bit. And of course, at the end of that curfew is where you're going to get checked in by your leader and get into your bed and go to sleep and not go anywhere else. Okay? Sounds good. All right, Tuesday through Friday, it looks a little bit like this. I'm going to run through this fast. Before breakfast, you can go to the SWO Underground. It's a prayer chapel. It's a little bit of a hike. It's awesome. You should go at least once during the week. Next, 7:30 is going to be youth leader breakouts. You're not youth leaders. You don't have to worry about it. Okay. 8 a.m., 8:30, first and second breakfast. After that, we'll leave for worship service. We have a morning worship, then we have breakout sessions. Breakout sessions work like this. Last year, they kind of changed it, but typically, they'll take some subject or some topic, and they will give you an option of which one to go to. Now, last year, we actually did, you didn't get choices. But I think they're back to giving you choices again. So you'll have an option of this question, like, how is social media, wow, that was a train wreck. How is social media affecting your life? Or, how do I share Jesus in sports? That's not true what those are, but it's something like that. They usually have 2 options, and you get to choose one that you will go to. All right, so those breakout sessions will happen. We return to SWO. We have lunch. Move it over to the back of the sheet. First and second lunch, depending on your rec, will depend on what lunch you go to. If you're on campus, you will go to second lunch. If you're going off campus, you will be at first lunch. You'll have to keep an eye on that every day. I'll remind you, don't worry. All right, moving on. Then we have recreation time. You'll do whatever fun things you pick. 6 p.m., 6:45, first and second supper. 6:45, 7:30, we leave for the worship center. Okay, and then we get done 8 to 10 is worship service. Then we get done. We have share groups. We come back. That's pretty much the whole week of how we do. Saturday will be a little different. We'll pack up. We'll move out. We'll clean our cabins. We'll get inspected. We will eat breakfast, and we will be on the road this year by 8:30 to 9 o'clock, unlike last year when I scheduled the bus run. So this year we'll be on the road. We will be back. Here we're going to stop in Macon, like I said. We should be back here. It says 6, but our bus says we'll be back around 3:30 to 4. I will be posting on our Facebook group. I'll be sending out reminders, letting you know our progress on coming back. But yeah, so that's the most recent update is probably around 4 o'clock we will be back. All right? Any questions about our rough tentative schedule? Moving on. All right. We already talked about that. Medications. Okay, so if you'll hit the medication slide. What I need for you, and I'll be sending this out in email as well, but what I need for you is if you plan on your child being able to take any medications with us that are over the counter, that is ibuprofen, that is Benadryl, that is that kind of stuff, you will need to fill out this very short form and check and say, yeah, you can give my kid Benadryl. It works great. We slip it into his drink every night, right? Don't do that. That's not medically sound. If you want that, then you need to fill this out. Let me know. The second thing is that if your child takes prescription medications, you absolutely have to fill this out. And that information is just so we can know that case of what they're taking, what they may need, when they need to take it. We're not going to be keeping up with your kids for that, but we want to know at the beginning of the week, okay, I have these 4 kids who take night medicine. At night I might be like, hey, if you have night medicine, don't forget to go take it. You know, if you have special needs beyond that, like you need to cook something or you need to do something along those lines, it needs to be kind of put in here, okay? So this is just helpful, yes.
Is there like medical on site where they get stung or they have what they can go and get? I don't know.
That is a great question. Yes, they do have a nurse on site. That's something new that they had full-time starting last year. So there is a medical tent there. We also have 2 medical people who are part of our chaperones that always makes me feel better. But yes, they do have a nurse on site as well as, let's just go ahead and talk about it. More than likely, it's been the case up until this point, we will get to make one fun trip at least to the local urgent care, sometimes to the local hospital in Murphy. Both are wonderful. But typically what it is every year we will have somebody, we may have someone get sick while we're there. We had one kid who was doing a dance move one year and dislocated his kneecap. It was really, really gross. But it popped back in, he was fine. But we will most likely, if something like that happens, we will talk to the camp. This is part of the reason why we're taking my personal vehicle. We will load up, go to the urgent care, get everything checked out. You will be notified at any point in time that we are rolling towards a medical facility. We are going to be calling you and letting you know. But more than likely, it will probably happen. We've never had nothing too serious. The kid who had the kneecap thing, he was back on a cart. They had a golf cart for him for the rest of the week, and I think he was more happy with the golf cart than he was having to walk up the hills. But if anything medical happens, we do have 2 wonderful facilities really close, and they do have a registered nurse on their staff that is there. Basically the ibuprofen and things of that nature is so that like late at night your kid has a headache and you check they can have ibuprofen. Okay, we'll give them the proper dosage of ibuprofen. We have that. Now, another thing, you kids, you are not allowed to share your medicine at all. Not an ibuprofen, not whatever. That's not allowed. You don't know what allergies anybody has. We do not share. We have stuff that if it's over the counter that you may need, you can ask us, and if your parents filled it out, you can get it. Or if you need something more than that, then we will talk with the appropriate people, the nurse, and all that. Do not share. Okay, good. Was that stern enough? Don't do it. All right. Let's keep going. All right, Snowbird safety protocols. Good news, no cohorts this year. For showers last year, they had us split up. You had certain groups can only do certain things certain times, so try not to have groups cross. That is no more as far as like shower times and stuff. We will be assigned a bathhouse, but we're not assigned like, that 48-minute window of shower. It's great. So that's good to know. Moving on to behavior expectations, okay? So a couple things. First off, we have the rule of 3. If in a mixed group, both girl and guy, you need to be in a group of 3. If you're off gallivanting, we don't like 2s, we like 3s. You can do the math. So that's what we want. So if you're doing that, if you're wanting to go out and do something, grab your third person and go. It'll be great. If you do want some alone time, like you want to take that hammock and go read the Bible or go nap, let an adult know. Let one of our chaperones know. Be like, hey, so-and-so, I'm going to nap. One year, we had a kid who went to do his Bible study by himself. He put up his hammock just in the edge of the woods, and it was dark. He fell asleep. He was in a black hammock, and we searched for Chiak for like an hour. And I was so mad. And then someone found him, found his hammock. He had fallen asleep reading God's word, which happens, it happens. And so once I calmed down, we were all cool. But he didn't tell anybody that he was going to go set that up to go spend some time with God and sleep. So if you need that time, there's safe space to do that in. Just let one of our adults know, okay? All right. Second thing. Campers are expected to have behavior that is respectful to fellow campers, chaperones, and staff. So you're going to be kind and love each other. You're going to be kind to our chaperones, to the people on staff there. And if we have issues, we will give first warning. Second time, we will go, okay, we'll talk to our parent. If we get to a third time, we're going to call a parent and we're going, hey, you need to come on home, come get them. Sorry, drive 7 hours, go get your child, okay? We don't want that to happen. Really would like that not to happen. So, we will warn you. We'll have time to call our parent, and then we'll do the asking, okay? Just want to put that out there. This week is about fun, about growing closer to each other, closer to God. We ain't got time for that, okay? So, that's the first thing. The second thing is this. We do have a new rule, okay? This is just a rule, and you know what? I really don't think we're going to have to worry about it. But this rule is implemented, and I'm going to let you know. The new rule is if you are caught sneaking out after curfew time, and this is not counting you going to the potty, by the way, because you do have to leave the cabin to go to the potty, hopefully. Don't do it in the cabin. Go out to the potty. But if you are caught outside of that trajectory in the middle of the night, we're going to ask you not to come back next year. Okay? You know. Now everyone knows. But if you're sneaking out late at night, there's no reason for you to do it. None. And now you know if you do it, next year you won't be coming with us. Okay? After that year band is up, you can come back. Okay? But I'm putting that out there. I want people online watching. Okay? If we catch you sneaking out, no matter the reason, if it's not between you and that bathroom, you're not going to come back next year. Okay? Cool? All right. Moving on. All right. Shirts. In the back, what we're about to do is I'm going to ask a few of my adults, my chaperones, to go and stand in front of a set of shirts. And then you're going to go to your space. You're going to tell them your name. They're going to check your name off and give you a shirt. Do not grab a shirt without them checking your name off. Okay? So whenever we do that, I just need to make sure, because we don't have everyone here tonight, I want to make sure that everyone gets the size that they requested. Not necessarily the size you want today, but the size you requested, okay? Before we move on from that, last thing. And I think I dropped this in there, the map of the thing. How rooming situations are going to work, okay? How it's going to work is I'm really excited they were able to give us our totals of where everyone was going to be and how it was going to work. And we are in 4 different cabins. 2 for guys, 2... I'll just tell 2 fingers, okay? 2 for guys, 2 for girls, all right? Now, we have divided up the groups. You're not getting assigned tonight, but there will be a cabin that your age group will be assigned to, okay? I was going to pull it up there. But basically how it's going to work, and I'm going to show you on the map here. I'm sorry, people online, you probably won't be able to see this very well. But, cabin 1, right there. Cabin 2, right there, that is our girls' cabins. Okay? The 6th grade and 7th grade girls and a few chaperones are going to be in one of those cabins. That cabin is an open forum cabin, meaning there's no rooms, it's just 30 bunks that are all open air. So 6th grade and 7th grade girls and 2 chaperones, you're going to be in that space. The other one, all the other 8th grade through 12th grade, you're going to be in the second cabin. That cabin is comprised of a few rooms with 4, a few rooms with 6, and a room of 8. I will put it out there, okay? You will have to be in those cabins, all right? We're not swapping back and forth. And I'll have something on our way rolling up that we're going to figure it out in that 6-hour drive where everybody's going to be. So when we get off the bus, you ain't kicking people out of rooms and stuff like that. Sound cool? All right. Guys, I thought someone was applauding. Was it? Was that an applause? Oh, yeah. I was like, someone dropped their phone or is that an applause? All right. Guys, we are in 13 and 14. Wait, up there. Okay? Up there just below where it says the pool. Pool's not actually close. It's just close on the map. I'm so pumped because this is back our old stomping grounds. But basically, 6th and 7th grade guys, you are going to be in one side. That's going to be 2 sides of 12. And then the other one is going to be the remainder of our group. And it will have, it's kind of a similar situation where it has several sets of 6, 4, that kind of thing. Okay? So those of you who are worried about it, that's how it's going down. We will be, before we get off the bus, before we get there, we will have figured out who is going to be where and when. Sound good? Awesome. All right. Before we move and get out of here, any questions? Yes, ma'am. No, you do not. If you have to go potty in the middle of the night, you do not have to tell a chaperone. If you're scared, you can wake up a buddy to go with you if you want. But no, you can get up and go. Most of you will just go before you go to bed. But yes, you do not have to wake a chaperone up. Okay? All right, other questions?
Jack, we have a question online.
Thank you.
If you're watching online, how will we get our shirts?
If you're watching online, how do you get your shirts? Either Sunday at church, you can pick them up, or Monday, you can pick them up when you arrive, and we'll let you go to the bathroom and go change your shirt. So Sunday or Monday, I'll have them sorted, taken care of. Thank you, my adults. Just pick one to be in front of. Any other questions from online? Any other questions in the room? If you have any further questions, you're like, I don't want to talk in front of everybody. What do I want to ask? I'll be here. Okay? Otherwise, please, let's see. Stephen, Corey, everybody in front of the set. There should be a pin there. All right. You are released to go get your shirt. Go look. If you don't remember what shirt size you got, you can go ask them for their size. I know it's going to take a little bit, but thank you. Bobby.